A computer virus destroyed all my files. A lot of agricultural workers came to the East End to look for alternative work. A periodical is a publication that is issued regularly. A preliminary bibliography is due the week before the spring break. A study skill seminar is on for the students who require assistance. A thorough bibliography is needed at the end of every assignment. All essays and seminar papers submitted must be emailed to your tutor. All postgraduate students should participate in the seminar. All the assignments should be submitted by the end of this week.
Anatomy is the study of internal and external body structures.
Any text or references you make should be cited appropriately in the footnotes. Anyone who has a problem with their accommodation should speak to the welfare officer. Applicants for the course probably have a preference over English or journalism.
Companies exist to make money, not to change society.
Don't forget to hand in your assignments by the end of next week. During the next few centuries, London became one of the most powerful and prosperous cities in Europe.
African elephant is the largest land-living mammal.
Even with the permit, finding a parking spot on campus is still impossible. Exam results will be available next week from the course office. He's almost never in his office. I could not save my work as my computer crashed. I didn't understand the author's point of view on immigration. I missed yesterday's lecture. Can I borrow your notes? I will be in my office every day from 10 to 12. I'll start with a brief history of the district, and then focus on life in the first half of the 20th century.
If she doesn't speak the language, she will not sit around and wait for a translator.
In English, the first letter of the months of the year is always capitalized. In Europe, the political pressure is similar regarding globalization. In this library, reserve collection books can be borrowed for up to 3 hours. Information is being given to readers in a format that looks familiar. Interpreters are not readily available in this department. I've got a tutorial in an hour and I haven't had any time to prepare for it. Just wait a minute. I will be with you shortly. Knives and forks should be placed next to the spoon on the edge of the table. Many health workers think that pensioners are too old to understand. Many of the urban poor lived in an extremely cramped condition. Many students are so scared of writing essays because they never learned how. Meteorology is a detailed study of Earth's atmosphere. Most of the assignments should be submitted on the same day.
Most university teaching take place in lectures and seminars.
Our class is divided into 2 groups. You come with me, and the others stay here. Physics is a detailed subject of matter and energy.
Physiology is the study of internal and external structure of the body.
You need to finish all the reading chapters before the field trip.
Please prepare a PowerPoint presentation for tomorrow's meeting. Put the knife and fork next to the spoon near the edge of the table.
The residence hall is closed prior to the academic building closing time at the end of the semester.
She is an expert in the 18th century French literature.
Sports is the main cause of traumatic brain injuries in the United States.
Students can get access to computers on a daily basis. The author expressed an idea that modern readers cannot accept. The bookshop is located at the north end of the main campus. The cafeteria closes soon, but the snack machine is accessible throughout the night. The clear evidence between brain events and behavioral events is fascinating. The course registration is open early March for new students. The English word typhoon comes from the Chinese word big wind. The first few sentences of an essay should capture the reader's attention. Glass is not a real solid because it doesn't have a crystal structure. The hypothesis needs to be tested. The maximum production of chocolate is in US. The medical center is located near the supermarket on North Street.
The minimal mark for distinction to be awarded is 75%. The office opens on Mondays and Thursdays directly following the freshman seminar session.
The office said Dr. Smith will arrive later today. The original Olympic Games were celebrated as religious festivals. The part of the story is the story of my father. The professor has promised to put his lecture notes online. The program depends entirely on private funding. The psychology department is looking for volunteers to be involved in research projects. The real reason for global hunger is not the lack of food, but poverty. The result of the study will be published next month. The seminar on writing skills has been cancelled. The student welfare officer can help you with questions about exam techniques. The theoretical proposal was challenging to grasp. The topic next week on our column will be the nuclear disarmament. The United Kingdom is a constitutional monarchy and parliamentary democracy.
The verdict depends on which side is more convincing to the jury. The wheelchair lift will be upgraded this month.
There are lots of students competing for the places in computer courses.
There are various approaches for plagiarism across different university departments.
There will be a guest lecturer visiting the department next month. There will be ample opportunities to ask questions about the presentation.
This work will be the starting point of my discussion today.
This is the third time you've asked for an extension on this project. To improve the essay, I decided to include more direct quotes. Try to explain how your ideas are linked so that there is a logical flow. We are delighted to have Professor Robert to join our faculty. We are not going to accept the assignment after the due day on Friday. We must put great care when analyzing data. We need to hand in our assignments by the end of the week. We offer a broad range of undergraduate and postgraduate courses.
We will study the following two pictures in the next lecture.
We would like a first draft of the assignment by Monday. What is the most effective way of interaction between teachers and students in class?
When I was in school, I had many of the same problems you have now.
You can find the student service desk located on the ground floor of the whole building. You should raise your concern with the head of school. "39.5% of Californian residents don't speak English in the home." When the demand for the course rose, university authorities took on additional academic staff. In consultation with your supervisor, your thesis is approved by the faculty committee. I'm glad you got here safely. I used to have coffee with milk and 1 sugar.
Students should take advantage of the online help system before approaching their lectures.
He was constantly looking for ways to bring industry and agriculture together. A demonstrated ability to write clear, correct, and concise English is bigotry. Globalization has been an overwhelming urban and urbanization phenomenon. I can't attend the lecture because I have a doctor appointment. Students will not be given credits for assignments submitted after the due date. Basketball was created in 1891 by a physician and a physical instructor.
Newspapers across the country have been reporting stories of the president.
I would like a cheese and tomato sandwich on white bread with orange juice. Answering this complex question with a simple yes or no is absolutely impossible. If you want to receive the reimbursement, you must submit the original receipts. Student loans are now available for international students. I had a sandwich and milk for my breakfast. By clicking this button, you agree with the terms and conditions of this website.
I think your watch is fast. You need to reset it.
Care needs to be taken for vulnerable groups during the periods of turmoil. Please explain what the author means by sustainability. She doesn't care about anything but what is honest and true. The leading scientists speculate that numerous planets could support life forms. If you have problems, please contact your tutor. In the 1830s, periodicals appeared in large numbers in America. Most printers in the computer lab are out of ink.
Nearly half of the television outputs are given away for educational programs.
Number the beakers and put them away before tomorrow. Organic food is growing without applying chemicals and no artificial additives. The bookstore is located on the main campus behind the library. The professor will be the last speaker this evening. The study of archaeology requires intensive international fieldwork. The timetable for next term will be available next week. The U.S. ranks the 22nd in foreign aid, given as a percentage of GDP. The gap between rich and poor is not decreasing rapidly as expected. The student welfare officer can help students with different issues. All of our accommodations are within a walking distance to the academic buildings.
History is not a simple collection of dates and events.
Biographical information should be removed prior to the publication of results. Environmental friendliness is a new category in which campuses are competing. The contest includes both the land living history and the human history. Please do not bring food into the classroom. To measure distance could take as much as 3 weeks. Higher fees make students think more critically about what universities can offer. I will be in my office every day from 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock. It is good for the environment and also good for your electricity bill. Company exists for money, not for society. It is acknowledged that his work is groundbreaking. Don't hesitate to email me if you have any questions. You can get a student card at the reception. Please go straight and turn left to reach the library. Your enrollment information, results, and fees will be available online. Alex captured her hands and forced her to drop the potatoes. A renowned economist is selected to have a speech tonight at 8.
Student discount cards can be used on campus at the coffee house.
Our university has strong partnerships with industry as well as collaborative relationships with government bodies. Generally, students have unusual problems in school. Hypothetically, insufficient mastery in the areas slows future progress.
You can pay by cash or using a credit card.
You can download all lecture handouts from the course website. Once more, under the pressure of economic necessity, practice outstripped theory. You can retake the module if your marks are too low. The lecture management in Japan will take place in the week 7. Is hypothesis on black hole as rendered moot as explanation of explanations? Meeting with mentors can be scheduled for students who require additional support. Proteins constitute at least 30% of the total mass of all living organisms. Please sort and order the slides of the presentation according to topic and speech time. I expect a long and stagnant debate for a week or 2 on this issue. Today, we will be discussing the role of the government in preventing injustice. We didn't have any noticeable variance between the 2 or 3 tasks. You should inquire about the direct deposit. The United States has the maximum production of chocolate.
It's within the framework that we're making our survey.
This small Indian state is a land of forest valleys and snowy islands.
Fishing is a sport and a means for survival.
As a student union member, we can influence the change of the university. The sports team members often practice on weekdays and play games on weekends. They have enough works to keep them going. His lecture is always useful and stimulated. In my free time, I would like to read current affairs and newspapers.
Animals grow larger and stronger to help them hunt better.
There is a plan in place for those who have difficulty paying their bills.
I don't understand what the comments on my essay mean at all.
Our fundamental realities, especially national needs, have seen the ability to flourish. The Student Service Center is located on the main campus behind the library. The new English class will start next Monday morning. All source of materials must be included in your bibliography.
The negative discourse continues to be predominant in discussions about gender,
She told the faculty to be very supportive. Essays with few or no citations will be regarded as invalid. Make sure the financial director knows the full details of the pay agreement. Expertise in particular areas distinguishes you from other graduates in a job interview.
The Genetic Biology Technology Lab is located in the north wing of the library.
The older equipment has been put at the back of the building.
I would like an egg and tomatoes on white sandwich bread with orange juice. Students should book a library tour in the first week of the first semester.
Since the problems we face are global, we need to find the relative solutions. In 1880, cycling became a major phenomenon in the United States. More muscles are used in swimming than other sports.
It's within that framework that we carry out our survey.
It is interesting to observe the development of language skills of toddlers. We will see if we can get through this without too many interruptions. Many of the university's original buildings are still in use. The key to success in the exam is to study hard and do well. In marketing, short-term thinking leads to many problems.
Please read the first 5 chapters before the next week's tutorial.
Robert would live in rural areas in London. Internet provides unusual opportunities for students and current events. The university has a lot of travel scholarships available that students can apply for.
To get further extension, you need to call the Education Executive on 401.
The timetable will be posted on the website before the class starts. The trip for the professional training will start soon, so pack the items before we leave. The competency in the language and the assignment is to use more formal words. The competency in the language and the assignment is to use more formal words. Lots of students had money and passports stolen, especially at night.
The number of companies in bankruptcy skyrocketed in the third quarter.
Before reading Chapter 1, you must refer to the lecture notes first. It is of interest to most students to take experiential learning course. Every living thing begins as a single cell.
Children are not allowed to be in the laboratory at any time.
The rules on breaks and lunch hours vary from company to the next.
Contemporary critics dismissed his idea as eccentric.
All old university buildings are still in use. Our capacity to respond to national needs will determine our ability to flourish. I could not save my work as my computer was crashed.
Proficiency in a foreign language may be demonstrated by assessment.
Native discourse continues to be predominant in discussion of gender. The undergraduate students are taught with a rigorous course in our psychology department. Ideally, free trade is beneficial for trading to both two partners. All applications of internship are available in the office.
The geography assignments must be submitted by the midday of Friday.
This is how we deliver healthcare to millions of people over the world. Only those who are over 18 years of age are eligible to open a bank account in our bank. The health center is situated at the corner of the university behind the library. The puppets do comedy routines, and there is some terrific formation dancing. The university supplies a number of scholarships for those who have specific goals. The hypothesis on the black hole is rendered moot as the explanation for the explosion.
The books are filled with drawings of machines he invented when he was a student. There is not enough space for me in the car.
Those students have to retake the module if their marks are too low. Don't forget to take the library tour in the first week of the semester. Her father prevented me from talking to her. The course comprises 20 hours of lectures, seminars, and tutorials per week. If you need help, I can give you a hand in finding a flat. All course materials will be posted online. Please be careful when using online translation programs. Globalization problems need to find globalized solutions. The quality of our accommodation is high, but it is still affordable for students. If you forget your passport, you need to contact the Student Center. The newly discovered star was a subject to global debate about its origin. How do we describe the position of subterranean? The course will be tested at the end of the semester.
We can meet in my office after the lecture. The Student Service Center is located on the ground floor of the PAC building. I would like the assignment less than 2,000 words. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about the other theories that can explain the variations in climate. Experience would be an advantage for this managerial role. Your tutor is there to help you, so do ask if you don't understand something.
We have 3 distinctive libraries which are nationally acclaimed. Parking permits can be collected through the Student Service Office. Please don't forget to check your email for the updates of the week. Tuesday's sessions will last for approximately 2 hours. We should focus on innovation, and if we don't, we are bound to lose out. Many industries move to the countryside where manufacturing costs are lower. Everyone should get access to art galleries no matter where they live. Until you complete the form, you cannot attend. There is too much information on this topic. Presentation skills are important to both university and the workplace. Major sports on campus include rugby, soccer and tennis. It is clear that the effects of climate change will damage the world economy. The framework will help pose more research questions systematically. The assignments must be submitted by the midday of Friday. You can only choose one subject from biology and chemistry. It is quite clear that further research is required.
Our brain is the central machine of our body.
Read the safety instructions before using the equipment during the workshop. The field training will start soon, so pack everything before the deadline.
The library is located on the north side of the campus behind the Student Center.
There is no point in designing efficient cars if we use them more and more.
We should take gender into account when analyzing the data. Unfortunately, the two most interesting economic electives class from my timetable. Several students raised different examples. Please make an appointment with your tutor about work. Remember, your essay should be less than 2,000 words. The university policy on plagiarism can be viewed on the website. The website is probably the most attractive layout. The data infers that further research is needed. We can discuss education in the tutorial next week. Social work is not the only subject in sociology. The technician left the new microscope in the biology lab. A man who suffered serious brain damage during an operation is suing the hospital. There's an hourly bus service from the campus into the town. Most assignments need to be submitted on the same day. All students must return the books to the college library before the end of the term. Note that the deadline of the submission of proposals has been extended for a week. Tuition fees will vary according to the field of study. The current labor force is more competitive than it had been for a long time. The contemporary literature works have been broadened and extended through interpretation. Today's lecture is cancelled because the lecturer is ill.